welcome to Once Upon a Stitch Nook and my desk where the creativity happens. I will be going over the tutorial for the lavender headband and lavender belt band. And so they are going to be essentially the same format. The only differing part of the pattern will be the base chain and choice of um, the ties. And everything else will be the same. So we will be showing it as the headband just for being shorter, but this is kind of what it would look like as a long band, and we will come back at the end to add on the ties. So let's get into it. You will need 3 types of yarn. I use the Yarn Bee Yarntopia white, and if you're going to replace it, this is a 2-weight fine. It's also kind of close to a 3-weight. I think you could get away with it, but honestly, lighter the better since we have quite a few rows to work with. Then we have heather or purple, and then sage green. I think these are beautiful, and I love how they come together. You, of course, need some scissors, and the hook for this is a 2.75. You could also do a 2.5. We really want to go small and tight with this. All right, so let's get started on it. All right, for starters, we're going to take our green, and you're going to chain, whether it's going to be for your headband or for your belt. You're going to either measure out or just check it against where you wanted to place. For the headband, I like to do from top ear to top ear with the shaping a little bit forward towards the head. And for the belt, whether you want to sit on your hips or your waist, measure that out and see how the length is, and account for you'll have about so much extra. So you also, particularly I guess on the belt, account for that little bit of extra width that will be added. So it's going to be a multiple of 3 for however long you want. So I'm going to make mine roughly the size length of my one I've already done. So just do multiples of 3. All right, I have roughly chained multiples of 3s that roughly equate to this. It might be 1 off or so, but we are going to start with that. I'll bring it up a little bit to give myself some room. So with that chain established, we're going to work our first row. And starting in the second back loop from the hook, your second one, you're going to do single crochet. I'm going to make that loop tighter. There we go. And then single crochet into each back loop of the chain. This may take a little bit, so just work your way through there. Reasoning for doing the back loop instead of the usual way is so we have this portion available, and it'll be easier to see when we're going around with the trim. So this just helps establish it and makes it nice and clean, I find. So just go ahead and work all the way across your chain in the back loops with single crochets. All right, we've done our single crochets all through the back loop, so that's what it's looking like. And now we are going to chain 3 and turn our work like so. This chain 3 counts as a double crochet. We are going to skip 2 stitches. So the first stitch we're counting that this chain 3 is a part of, skipping this stitch, and then we're going to work a V stitch in the third stitch. The V stitch composes of a double crochet like so, chain 1, and a double crochet in the same stitch. So you see it makes a V, as it were. And we're going to continue to do this repeat. We're going to do a skip 2, V stitch in the next stitch, like so. I got a nasty little ball there. Go away. Do my V stitch, skip 2, V stitch in the next stitch, and then skip 2, V stitch into the next stitch. After you've done your last V-stitch, you should have two stitches left, and we're going to skip one and double crochet into that last one. And as we start to transition into the next row, I like to do my color change here. So before yarning over and looping in here, I'm going to we'll wrap the yarn and push it back. I'm going to pick up my white yarn. We're going to color change to white, like so, and finish the stitch in that way. I'm going to try to make this less messy. And from here, we chain two and turn our work. And I'm going to, well, no, I don't need to. I don't need to work over it. Let's see. So from here, we're going to, this is our third row. Let's see if I can make it focus better. We're going to double crochet two in between the double crochet and the V-stitch. But we're going to color change on the second one, so don't finish it all the way. I'm going to wrap the yarn, push it back, and then we're going to pick up our purple. If I can, there we go. Got my purple. Okay, we're going to do, this is the color change, so just finish that double crochet there. Now, we're going to slip stitch into the V stitch chain, and a key part here is you want to make sure you're working over the white, and in this case also that purple tail, because that way you don't have odd carryovers. So always be working over the yarn you're not using. And I like to drape it forward towards me. And then you're going to chain 4, like so. You're going to, in the second back loop from your hook, single crochet 1, into the next one, 2, and into the last one, 3. So you chained 4, you end up with 3 single crochets. We're going to slip stitch back into that same chain space of the V-stitch. Make it nice and tight. Drop the purple forward and pick up the white. Chain 1 with the white. Making sure we're working over our purple. Double crochet into the space between, or not really a space, just double crochet between the two V-stitches. You're going to do 2 double crochets, color changing on the second. So here I'm not going to finish it. I'm going to pick up my purple and finish that one. Now I bring my white forward, slip stitch into the V stitch chain, chain 4, like so, and then single crochet starting in second from the hook into the 3 back loops. So 1, 2, 3. You see this is developing the lavender stem part. Slip stitch back into that chain space. I'm going to tuck tightly, push the purple forward and pick up the white. Chain 1 with the white, I'm going to tug that a little tighter. Working over the purple, double crochet 2 in between the V-stitches. And on the second one, we're going to color change again. And just continue to do that all the way across in the V-stitches, and I'll catch up with you at the end. Alright, I am on my last lavender. I think it's rainy outside, so the light is going in and out. But I'm going to make my last lavender. Yarn is loving to get tangled. Just doing my last single crochet stem, slip stitching into the chain space, bringing that yarn forward for the last time, chain 1 with the white yarn, picking that up, and then just 2 double crochets regular in between that chain 3 we have over here and the V-stitch, and that will be that. It will kind of be doing this all at the shaping and everything, because the single crochets are really building up more space. So this is actually going to kind of try to curl a bit, but we're going to kind of tame that here on the second row. So go ahead and chain 2. If you like chain 3s with your, I'm going to also snip a bit of a tail for the purple and get that out of the way. I've already done so with the green. If you like chain 3s for your double crochets, you're welcome to do so. I just like it nice and tight, so I do chain 2. I'm going to double crochet into each of those 2 white stitches, like so. So that's 2 double crochets. And then into the top of the purple, I'm going to kind of just poke it through and then do a single crochet there, like so. And that is going to be the repeat. In between each purple, you're going to do 2 double crochets into each stitch. There we go. And so you see we're kind of building up that empty space here. And then as we go over the purple lavenders, we do a single crochet to carry over the white. Double crochet, 2 into the white stitches, and then single crochet 1 into the lavender, and just keep that going until the end. Alright, here I am on the last double crochet, and I'm going to do a color change here. So we're color changing to green. So I'm bringing the green for the last yarn over pull through. There we go, and then I'm going to yarn over 1. Turn our work, and in this case I am going to work over my tails just because I like to do that. You don't have to, because as you do the trim you can go over them then. But now we are just going to single crochet into each stitch across, and it's just nice and simple that way. Just I'm going to work over my tails here until I feel that they're secure, and then I'll snip off the white. But yeah, this row is nice and easy. We just have single crochet all the way across. So go ahead and do that, and then I will come back with you to show you how to do the trim. Here I am at the last stitch, and I'm going to do a color change, so I'm not going to fully finish it. I'm going to wrap the yarn, push it back, and then I'm going to bring in my white, like so, chain 1. And so we're going to put 2 single crochets roughly into the corner, like so, and then you're going to single crochet 6 along here. So 1, 2, 3, I'm going to get that a little more secure, 4, 5, and just work over your loose ends as well. This will help tidy everything without needing to weave in any ends. Then 6. Then as we reach the corner, we're going to single crochet 3 into the corner. So 1, 2, and still kind of working over 3, working over our ends. And now you'll see we come to where we started, where you can visibly see the stitching. Instead of working in back loops, we have nice easy stitches to see. And you'll just single crochet your way across the bottom of your band. So you'll work over your ends until they're done. I'm going to snip the green now and just work it over. And then you'll just continue regularly until you meet the other corner, and then I'll pick up with you over there. So go ahead and work your single crochets all along the bottom of the band. Alright, here I'm at the end of my band, and so as I'm working into kind of the last stitch, we're going to make this into our corner. So single crochet 3 into that spot. You can either do 3 fully here or add the third one into as you start down the side. I kind of just play it by ear, and then you want 6 stitches to go along the band. So just kind of paste them out so that you get 6. I'm going to do a sort of single crochet 2 together effect here just so I cover that green a little better. Just a little tip you can do. So let me check. That was 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 5 and 6. I'm kind of working over these ends that are over here. And then into the corner, kind of that first stitch or so, we're going to single crochet 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Getting loose ends there. Sorry, my dogs are panicking because of the rain. I will tend to them in just a second. So now all you'll have to do is single crochet your way across the band, and you will slip stitch once you reach the first stitch you did in this row. So just go along and do that. Here I am at the end, and I just kind of want to show you can do an extra crochet into the same spot, or in this case, since quite a bit of green is showing through, I'm going to go kind of lower than that. I'm going to wrap the yarn and push it to the back because now we're going to do another color change. And let me grab a fresh skein of purple. All right. And let's see if I can find the end. Shall I be so lucky? Yep, I am a lucky duck today. All right, so I'll finish off that stitch with purple, then slip stitch into that first stitch. So there we go. So we have these ends to work in. I will snip that away. Now that I've done my slip stitch here, I'm going to chain 1, single crochet 1, into the next one 2, and into a third 3. So 3 single crochets. And into the next one, we'll do a half double crochet and working over my ends like before. That's a half double crochet. Next one will be a double crochet. And here you'll do a treble crochet, or what I think, I'm not sure if this is actually the treble crochet, but I like to do like an elevated double crochet. So a yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Do 2 of those into the same stitch. So one more time into that same stitch, like so. Whoop. And then you'll chain 1. Into the next stitch, we'll do 2 treble crochets again. 1, 2, double crochet into the next stitch, half double crochet into the next stitch, single crochet into the next stitch. So you'll see this kind of lines up that chain 1 is going to be the center where we will attach the ties, and it creates this curvature. Sometimes it's rounder, sometimes it's pointier, and that's just how that works, or how that looks. And from here you'll single crochet all along the bottom of the band until you reach the other side of your band. Sorry. So just go ahead and keep working your single crochets. Alright, I've single crocheted my way all the way, let me bring my hook out, past the 3 single crochets in the corner, and we want to go 1 after that. So crochet the 3 in the corners, and then 1 more. I'll put my hook back in, and here we do the sort of bridge. So we'll do the half double crochet into the next one, double crochet into the next one, 2 triple crochets into the next one, like so, chain 1, 2 triple crochets into the next one. Oh, that didn't go well. Okay, 2 treble crochets. Let's double crochet into the next one, half double crochet into the next one, and then from here we do our single crochets all the way around until we meet where we began this row, and then we'll just slip stitch into the first stitch. So you can continue on like so. I am at the end. I'm going to slip stitch into that first stitch like so. And here, if you were doing the where did I put that? I'm going to bring you up now. If you are doing the belt, I would just snip it off, weave that end, because we will be adding I-cords to the edge. But when it comes to the headbands, what I like to do, and that's still an option, you can cut it off and then just attach later. But what I like to do at the end here is loosely slip stitch my way along the stitches to that chain one space. It should be pretty evident, especially if you did it pretty loosely. And from here, just chain a tie however long you want it. I'm going to try to make it match the one on my other band, just for consistency's sake. Alright, and here I've made it as long as I want it. I'm going to trim the end. I don't mind the loose ends. You can, of course, burn that a bit. You can weave it back in. That is up to you. But let's see. Let's get the second one out of the way because I'm getting confused with all of these lavender bands. So that's that one. And then I would just go over and connect the yarn, same color yarn, or if you want to jazz it up, you can use like a white yarn or a green yarn, whatever yarn of your choosing. And I'm going to join it like so, and then make a chain same length as the other one for the other side. So nice and easy, nothing too complicated. You can of course also make a little I-cord. I find there's no reason to really bulk up this for the headband, so I find the chains serve their purpose well, but that is up to you. We will be going over how to make an I-cord here in a minute for the belt. Okay, and that'll be good enough. Snip that one. And then all that's left is to weave in this little end from where we joined. I'll snip that there. And there you have it. This is the headband of the lavender. Isn't it gorgeous? So now, oh, sorry, my scissors. Now I have two of them. It does look like I made this one a little bigger, I think. Or no, maybe. Hard to say. I think I did one more lavender in this second one. But yeah, so that is the headband. Now, you will do the same construction for your belt, but you will just make your base chain longer. Same structure everywhere else. And then you can, of course, go ahead and chain the same way if you want a light, tie. But what I'm going to do is add a thicker I-cord. So you want to really get a long tail of the yarn. Wait, where's the end? I think the rule of thumb is it should be 3 times the length of your desired length of cord. I tend to eyeball it and give myself hopefully more than I need. And then I'll just match it on the other side. So all I did was run that through there. Let me show you what I have. So I have all this yarn over here, and I'm still nervous about it, so I'm going to give it some more. All right, let me bring you down. Hopefully focus a little better. And so what I'm going to do is, let's see, I kind of always play it a little by ear. I'm never quite sure how to do this. So like, I'm going to take the yarn that's coming towards me on this side, push it over here, and loop it here. So this I usually wrap around my finger like so, and this one is a little just down by my fingers that I can play with. So what I'm going to do is wrap wrap the loose yarn that's closer to me or below me. I'm going to wrap it towards the hook, like so. Then I'm going to yarn over with this yarn and pull through. Because you see it makes a loop on the hook. Yarn over, pull through. Loop the hook, yarn over, pull through. Loop the hook, yarn over, pull through. I feel like it's not focusing great. Let's see if we can get distractions out of the way. Show a little better. Yarn over, and yarn over, pull through. Wrap the yarn over, pull through. Wrap the yarn over, pull through. And so you see what's creating is this cord. You can use a bigger hook if you want a thicker I-cord. I think I'm just going to stick with this one, the 2.75. But I've definitely done with the bigger ones, and it just makes it chunkier and a little also plushier. I do like that. But for this will suit me fine. And you'll just keep going. It often will go quite fast. You'll just kind of get into a rhythm of doing it once you're a little more comfortable. And just make it to the length you want. And then we'll do the same thing on the other end and just make sure they're roughly, the same size, same length, rather. So yeah, just go ahead and make yourself your I-cord for your belt. So you see here, I've done my length. I've decided, okay, this is how far I want to go. I thankfully have plenty of the yarn left should I want to continue, but I'm going to leave it there. And so I'm going to cut a bit of a tail of the end that's connected to the skein, and I'm going to knot twice, like so. And what I had been doing is I just kind of wove the ends back into here, or I let them loose. And another thing I want to try is burning them close to here, so I'm going to do that later when I get myself. I'm going to knot it a third time. I'm always a little nervous about these. Make them nice and tight. Gonna trim it a little more. And so, if I leave it as is, it's a little silly. But, so you see, here is the cord. That's the I-cord. And you just go ahead and do it on the other end as well. And it's really simple and something I just love to add whenever I can, when I need something with a little more sturdiness and girth than the chain, and I don't want to single crochet back through the chain. This is much faster. So, all right, so here you see we have the headband and then the belt with the I-cord. So very similar structure, just again changing the chain and options of the cord you want. And that's it. Very simple, very pretty. I would love to see your works and what you create. Do tag me on Instagram so I can see what you've done. And I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions.